somebody wants to talk, they'll raise their hand, can you walk it to them? Can that be your job? If you don't want it, say no. Okay. Put it down and don't. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you especially to the folks who have been here at all the other meetings before officially becoming block captains. Really appreciate you all. And I'm glad that today we will do our induction ceremony, which really will just read our block captain titles and everybody will get their certificates. And we'll be putting names in through Keep PA Beautiful to start getting everyone's signs up. So very, very, very exciting. Thank you guys for being here. Go ahead, Michael, you can next slide me. So just to introduce you guys to the folks, new faces and reminders for others. I'm Haley, this is Michael. Dakeem is really tall, you've probably seen him around in the neighborhood. And Daniela is our intern, but we are the Block Captain Program Committee. We are hoping to expand some of our, delegate some of our responsibilities to you all as well as block captains. So hopefully we'll be able to get some, maybe some other little titles up there or something for the next one, but for now, these are us, and this is how you can find us or connect with your other block captains. Our normal disclaimer, we are not city council members. We are not government officials. We are not a neighborhood watch program. That is not what this is. We do not make policy, but on one hand, we can advocate for our local neighborhoods. You guys can bring concerns here, either from yourselves as block captains that you've witnessed personally, or things that you have heard throughout your community, throughout your neighborhood, talking to your neighbors and those sort of things. You can definitely bring them to this committee, and we can kind of work some of that stuff out here or figure out what's the best channel to get some of those things addressed that you guys are interested in. And Justin was also just talking about the city app, and they're going to start having a request. I was eavesdropping. They're going to start having requests in the app that you can send through specifically through there. So I imagine that'll probably be a lot of our directives and be really helpful. Our focus here is on grassroots action, so we're not necessarily, again, trying to pass legislation through city council. Again, we can make kind of suggestions and do things that way, but we are really just focused on gathering us as neighbors, coming together and really trying to do whatever we can ourselves to improve the quality of life here in Chester. So good little synopsis here of what we expect from block captains for those who are listening who might be interested in being a block captain or who will be newly appointed block captains at the end of this meeting. Right now we are working on our beautification efforts, which is our summer cleanup series. I do have the rest of the dates and locations later in this slide where we'll touch on those, but so far we have done two and a half if you count our soft launch. That was with Keep Delco Beautiful at Sun Village. So far we hit Sun Village, we did Chester High, and last time we were at 20th and Edgemont with Paul Lely, who's not here right now, but he also catered a ton of food there for the neighborhood, and it was super fun. Tyrone Ricks of Tent of Life contributed a cornhole game, and all the kids got to play for prizes, and it was really super fun and really beautiful. I wish I would have included the photos in here, but quite frankly I didn't have enough time. But they are available on our Facebook of the pictures from the last cleanup because it was really impressive. We filled an entire dumpster. We got out mattresses, dressers, ginormous fridge boxes. Like, we got everything you can think of, and then all the way down to the little tiny cigarette butts. But we filled an entire dumpster at the last one. It was very, very cool. And you could tell by the time we had finished, we were only there for 2 hours, but you could tell by the time that we finished that it looked incredibly different. I haven't driven past there since but to see if it's been maintained. But the more momentum we have, hopefully there's more consistency throughout the city. But it was very, very cool to see like a big tangible difference in that aspect. So thank you to Chris Lamb, who's a local firefighter, and TNT Disposal for giving us the dumpster, allowing us to fill it, and then taking it away for us. The second thing is to expand communication between the city and the residents. So we have these monthly block captain meetings. Next month we will have ours on the 17th, July 17th. We are trying, full disclaimer, we are trying to get our meetings to be not here every single time, like occasionally, yes, but we are trying to get them kind of closer to different neighborhoods so that maybe people where this is inaccessible to, more people can come. So stay tuned. I don't know that we'll be able to get it up by July, where our cleanup is going to be in Holy City. So we were trying to, I know it's just over there, but we were trying to get a little bit closer to wherever our cleanups are, and then throughout the colder months when we're not doing cleanups, we can kind of hit some of these other places as well. So stay tuned on locations, but right now, as of right now, our July meeting will be here on the 17th. The last thing is, if we can get some of our block captains to attend city council meetings, we are currently, between me, Michael, and Dakeem, announcing, at least on the last one of the month, what our next cleanup, basically a summary of what we've got going on. But I would love for some of our block captains to be able to speak at our city council meeting. We're on the agenda, so you literally just go up, say, hey, this is what we're doing, and of course we'll prep you and get everything together for you. But the next city council meeting is tomorrow morning. Yep, they're usually 10 to 12, but occasionally, and I don't know, Justin, if it's on a rotating schedule when the evening ones are, or is it just like kind of random? Okay, so there's your info there. I think they start at what, 6, 7, 5? The night ones start at 7. There you go. So we do usually try to, I didn't include in this one because we have so many names to get through, but usually on these PowerPoints too, we'll have like a list of upcoming events from now to the next block captain meeting, just so that you guys have a quick little cheat sheet of what's going on in the city, and it will usually designate if there's an evening council meeting. That's good. They're bi-weekly?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah, so council meeting tomorrow, the next one will be July 9th.
And the entire schedule for the council meeting is already posted on the website and on the app for the entire year. I say if you are interested in coming, get in advance to schedule in. Yeah.
They usually are pretty much from 10 to noon. Occasionally there's like a really hot topic that requires, but they've been pretty good at keeping it, delegating some of those conversations for outside of the council meeting, because they're not always council related, quite frankly. And the last thing would be connecting residents with city departments, which again may not necessarily be you may not know exactly where they need to go. And I'll be honest, there are times where people come up to me and are like, hey, where do I go with this? And I say, I don't know, but I will find out for you. So if you don't know, please feel free to reach out to myself, Michael, Dakeem, and we will try to point you guys in the best direction or give you advice on, where we can pass out these things. But having so many people, we can hopefully funnel up, and we have not decided what platform to use yet, but we will have a group chat of sorts for all of our block captains where you guys can kind of share ideas or ask questions or bring up something that's happening in your neighborhood and see if somebody else has experienced something similar or solved that problem, or just brainstorm ideas for any challenges that are coming up. So we just want to be able to be that liaison between the residents and what's going on at council or in the city. Next one. We're asking of block captains for you to attend events. Not all of them, but as many as you can. We will definitely be trying to recruit some volunteers, or maybe even a smaller subcommittee of folks who just want to table at events or are willing to table at events. As you guys know, there is always something going on, especially in the weekends and especially in the warmer months. There are so many nonprofits, so many community organizations, so many government things that are run directly through City Hall, where we have events that we would love to be able to table at. But between the three of us, we don't always have the capacity to be at every single event. And sometimes there's 3 events on one Saturday, and we simply don't have enough manpower to cover all of those areas. But if you're interested in tabling at an event, please let us know. We'll kind of get you, grouped and organized in that way. But the first thing would be block captain meetings. Please show up to these. They're always in person right now. I think maybe in the colder months, maybe we may transition to virtual. We'll see. And we'd love your feedback. If you feel like you don't like to attend things in person and you'd rather a virtual option, please communicate that, and we'll try to see what we can, what works best for the majority. Second, our summer cleanup series, please attend the cleanups if you can. They're always on the last Saturday of the month. We've only got 3 left now. So this Saturday, the last Saturday of July, which is the 26th, and then actually, I did say it's every last Saturday, but the last Saturday of August is Labor Day weekend, so we're gonna go a week earlier than that. Will be August 23rd. So just for that. And then just, attending city events, like I said, anything that's going on in the city. Hopefully we can get some folks together to table.
August 10th.
Kingston. And last thing, just connecting with your neighbors. We have a handout here that has the information for today's meeting and the cleanup on Friday. We would love for you to take a handful of them home so that you can disseminate them on your blocks as block captains. It gives you an opportunity to, one, introduce yourself, two, tell them what we've got going on, and give them more info. Next time, so for the next July meeting, instead of you having July's flyer, I'll have August for you guys so that they have the block captain date and the cleanup. And the cleanup information. The second is that group chat that we had mentioned. We're gonna get that up and running. Relaying concerns from your neighborhoods, which we talked about, and then also showing off your block. We are trying to get some ideas together about trying to show off places that already look beautiful. So there are some people who really maintain their lawns. We would love to do contests around the holidays for decoration things. We were trying to get a graduation one, because everybody puts up their banners for Chester graduation and whatever. We didn't come to fruition this month, unfortunately. But hopefully, again, with a little bit more manpower and more ability to, canvas our beautiful city, we'll have more contributions for that. So we would love to get that going as well. Yes. Thank you. I do have it on our events schedule, but we're going to do a citywide cleanup as like our summer ending. So it'll be the last Saturday of September, where we're going to try to empower you guys locally to, and every block captain person will get a starting kit from Keep PA Beautiful of supplies. Timeline-wise, don't know what it looks like. Hopefully by the end of September. But in that case, you'll have some local supplies on hand, and if not, we'll work it out. But we are definitely going to do a citywide cleanup at the end of September with the help of you guys, starting out at your own, literally on your own blocks. If you feel as though your block doesn't need it because it's very well maintained, we have had some folks come in here and say that, just let me know because I can send you somewhere else. There's another block that needs to be cleaned, I promise you. We're no shortage. So yeah, so that's what our goal is to kind of end this season with this citywide cleanup in September. And here we are. Would you like to do the honors? Michael's going to present for our block captain induction ceremony. I actually, just for full transparency, I only put originally on the slideshow the folks who had RSVP'd. So I don't necessarily know everyone's name here. We will read through the list of people. If you hear your name, please raise your hand. I will be over here with certificates for you to come pick up your certificate, and we'll make sure that everybody is acknowledged, and you guys will have something to take home with you today.
No.
Alrighty. So many couldn't RSVP because we all are working adults. We all have active lives. And out of all of you, I am glad to see that we have a very, very hands-on group. Many of you are very active in various areas, and to have everybody that's in their respective spaces, you could contribute more than, there's no limit to what you could contribute to your community. That's what I'm trying to get to. So we're going to get started. First, I have Miss Adelaide Evans. I would like to invite you to the front. Not here.
I would just read the names, and if it's one of you guys, raise your hand.
All right. So for yes. All right. For block presentation, we have Adelaide Evans.
Yeah, I think everyone should be read.
Bernadette Raymond. Bridget Miles. Bridget.
You really don't want to post it, just
Capri Hudson. Cedric Smith. Daryl Kelly. All right, thank you, Daryl. Hey, thank you.
Daryl Turner.
Yes, indeed.
For you. Thank you.
It's a pleasure. Nice to hear.
That's how we do it. That's how we do it.
We're locking arms.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
David Barry. Eartha Banks. Effie Baxter. Eleanor Mister. Emmanuel Rodriguez Gonzalez. Edward Larkin. Frank Morgan. Here, Mr. Frank.
Frank also keeps our facilities here during the day, so. Super great. We appreciate you, Frank.
Thank you so much.
Frank. Mr. Frank, I had to get your phone number, call you, Gil, your nurse. All right, Ms. Gail Johnson, Montour.
Yeah, I do see that now. It's because it's formatted differently.
Yeah. Sorry.
Right, you wanted Montour first? Perfect. Save us a good copy.
So, because my bridge fell out, I have a big smile. I like my smile so big. I don't want to smile and people say, what happened to her?
All right, Mr. Harry Crawford. Hey.
Oh, and I'm loving everyone's taking a picture with their name, so we'll have like almost like a contact list of everyone.
Yeah, that's good, yeah.
Name and photo. That's gonna be so helpful.
All right, what's the word? Everything's good. I swear to my dear.
Okay,
There you go.
all right.
Thank you so much.
Have to call your phone up.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. John Clifford. Leanna Jones. Linda Johnson.
Oh, Miss Lynn, she's not.
Lorraine Bonomi. Sorry if I mispronounced that. Marnie Hudson. Mary Nixon. Marnie. You sure? To all our meetings. Yes, I do. Yes, you know so.
I'm sorry, what was your name?
Marnie Hudson.
You're just so Thank you so much.
All right, Miss Mary Nixon. Nicole Mathis. Paul Lilly. Rashida Ishmael. Roger Dennis. Mr. Rodney Banks. Miss Sylvania Lynch. Miss Sierra Sedell. I'm sorry. I'm a Sadell.
Thank you. Thank you. I'll take more pictures.
Very nice, thank you.
right, next we have Miss Tara Denny, Miss Della Benson, Miss Twyla Simpkins, Miss Viola Crawford, and Mr. Warner Bell.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
All right.
Thank you.
All right.
Please, Mr. Bell.
Thank you.
Uh,
Apply for state station members. Am I hearing that? What is it? I've already put them all out of alphabetical order to make it as difficult as possible for myself. Check that upside down.
So it's, again, many of you in various areas throughout the city, the beautification communication effort is not gonna happen overnight. To change the culture, it's gonna take some time, and the fact that you're interested in the beautification communication effort, it could really change for not just your block, but what it looks like in your neighborhood. And Chester's small, so, you know, you could take a couple steps down the block, and you could see a situation that's a little worse than yours. I got to speak to many of you in various capacities, whether a phone, if you probably heard my voice on the voicemail, reach out to you all, and I'm just really excited to see what this could look like. A lot of you have various capacities that you would like to join in, and I just can imagine what that looks like with all of us. Being a part of this program is like being an ambassador for the city. You want to advocate for the city and show that it's good things that come out of it. People that are interested in nurturing the community we live in. So I just really am excited to see what this looks like in the next coming months. Like, the possibilities is really up to us. It's really up to us. So I look forward to it. I look forward to the upcoming meeting. We do have an assignment to get started, if you're wondering, well, what's going to happen next? All right, so we have flyers that you are free to use and post anywhere. We have the approval from the city. We could put it on the light pole. We could put it on any signs outside, really. We could old school style, staple it right to the pole. Local stores, we could take them to. And many stores are already prepared to start hanging our signs. So that is a part of first assignment, starting to get people interested in knowing who you are and what the Block Captain Program is. Many people already start hearing about it, so now they're gonna have a face to say, okay, you're a Block Captain. Okay, you're a Block Captain too. And the more of these names, as they recognize, if you don't recognize the name on this list, you'll recognize their face for sure. So yeah, this is pretty exciting. It's not too, and if you think it's like you signed up for something that's going to require a lot of work, I promise you it won't. You probably would like to just do this because you have the time, you know. Yeah. Yes.
Like, I don't know if somebody already scheduled. Is somebody already scheduled to like clean these parks, and you know, and if not, are we able to take it amongst ourselves to allow that to be one of the places, like whatever park that we may see that needs to be attended to? Are we able to do those, or is that something we got to leave to the city?
Yes. You do not need permission to clean the city of Chester. No one need permission to pick up any trash from anybody. But if you want to organize it with a group of people, then we can talk about details on it. I do know a pastor that actually goes to that church twice a week to feed people that's in that space. They do have homeless people that also come out and help clean up the space, so they have more hands in the pot. You could, if you pop up and you see vans over there parked, that's what they're there for.
That's kind of what I was interested in as well, like feeding people and things like that. So that's why I'm just trying to like touch our bases, because that's another thing I want to try to start doing as well.
So one thing I love about the city of Chester is that it is so ambitious. It really is. We've all got things that we want to do and all of those things. I want to say we are definitely here to empower you to do what you can do within your direct neighborhood. So if you need support, you want to throw something together and you need support, please let us know and we can try to assist, especially if it's not on a scheduled block update or a scheduled like summer cleanup that we already have. We have supplies. We can definitely get out to you and try to get you what you need in order to do those things. I would love to be able to feed the community as well, but I will tell you, like, just simply a great example is what happened last week at our last cleanup. Was we kind of oversaw the cleanup portion. We brought up all of our supplies, we organized the trash disposal, and Paul Lely, one of our other block captains, completely organized all of the food, all of the games, all of the whatever was going on there, and that was just like his own doing, and he took that on and kind of transformed our or elevated our event. Right. So whether you want to tack on to what is already kind of planned, and I will tell you, just full disclosure, the locations that we picked throughout the rest, through the summer, were specifically recommended and requested by block captains who were here at these meetings since the beginning. So like we're in Sun Hill this week because Miss Pat Strain has been here consistently and has been in contact with us a ton. I think we're in Holy City because of you. So we're in Holy City next month because of Miss Montora, and Highland Gardens. We needed to get over to the west side, so that's why we picked Highland Gardens for the end. So we're happy to kind of plug in between, and we are hoping again. Like this is our inaugural year. Like this is the first series that we've ever done, and we are absolutely hoping to be able to grow these things. And we've talked before about kind of trying to have. Maybe not, I don't know if necessarily at the exact same time, because physical supplies is a little bit of a challenge right now as we're growing, but being able to kind of appoint block captains to be like, here, yes, you guys please run your own local event.
I'm right there, like I said before, I'm the program director at the radio station across the street from Deshaun Park, so it would be like kind of cool to set something up, you know, a cleaning event along with some extra little things just to entertain a few people, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly the kind of things that we're trying to work through. Anyone else?
Yes.
Who actually owns who actually owns Deshaun Park? Is the city of Chester? Like, hello, is this working? Yeah.
We're also recording, so it's just.
Oh, okay. So okay, thank you. Yeah.
So currently, Deshaun Park, which you are both asking about, is being kind of overseen and taken care of primarily by the county. So most of Deshaun Park and the area around it is currently in a RFP process to basically try to have a developer propose something to, take over that whole, there's like parking lots and there's a lot of space. So we're trying to get some proposals to see something new in that space. So the county worked together with the city and the school district to kind of put together a lot of parcels and see if we can attract a new development. But right now it is being taken care of by the county. If you wanted to do something there, we'd probably have to get permission from the county, but let us at the city know and we can work with you. And they have a contract for the summer for someone to like mow the lawn and kind of generally take care of it for the summer. So that should have already started. And I will say, you guys are block captains. You're kind of individuals on blocks. But we are also open to organizations or businesses adopting blocks or streets, around where their businesses are. So that may be something, if you're a business owner or know of a business, that may be another route that you want to take. So we're open to anyone who wants to adopt an area and help keep it straightened up. One other story I had real quick is that someone had asked a similar question about Chester Park, kind of the other side of Chester Park. There was an old planter there, and there was nothing in it. There was no flag. And she said, would it be okay if I put a fresh flag and planted some flowers? And, we're like, absolutely, go for it. And if you drive up there, it looks beautiful. And that's because a resident who lives nearby wanted it to look nice. So if you're interested in cleaning up and beautification, we will work with you.
We're doing really well on time, actually. Does anyone have any questions related to block captain programs, or do they want, before I get to the second part. Well, yeah.
No, thank you. Oh, thank you very much. And it's real simple. We're all block captains now. Do we get term limits or anything like that, or what? I mean, how long am I or we a block captain? That's why I said, are there term limits? I mean, is it a year, 2 years, 8 months?
Okay, so actually, that's a good question that we've never really put into writing. I'll be honest, this is an entirely voluntary process. Really, the only application is like an approval from the city that we can designate you. So if at any time you'd like to withdraw, please let us know.
They stay forever.
Otherwise, yeah. I mean, everybody's getting a sign up, and those signs are up until they're taken down. So we would like to see, I'm sure there's going to become a point where somebody is no longer participating for whatever reason, and at that point, if it's like not initiated by you guys, it'll have to be some sort of formal communication between us that's like, hey, we haven't seen you in a while, or you haven't participated, what's going on with that. Kind of really more of like a check-in, to be honest, than like a scolding. There's no like warning process, and maybe perhaps we need to get one. Re-volunteer. There we go. We just worked it out here, and that's why these meetings are important. So, so I would imagine, since we kind of kicked off we met as a committee in January, so maybe at the top of the year we'll do a refresher as we start to plan out the spring and summer series. Because I will tell you one thing that we weren't sure if we were going to do at the very beginning, but we did suggest it was have a flyer like this that has all of the dates with all of the locations through the season. But when we first had that idea, we really wanted to get feedback from the block captains and not just start putting cleanups in neighborhoods where people were not volunteering when we had people who were volunteering. We felt it was necessary to acknowledge the folks who have been attending and engaging in the program. So that's why we ended up not doing it that way this year. But since we'll have block captains this year during the planning thing, we'll probably plan out our summer series again from like the beginning, and we'll just have all of the locations. You won't have to wait every month to figure out where we're going to be or that sort of thing. So yeah, hopefully we'll touch base at the beginning of the year on that one. Do you have the microphone still?
So just to recap, have this, we're gonna get our kids tonight to start, what's that?
No, we have to.
We have the flyers we're gonna get.
Yes, we have to send everybody's information being sent to the state. Working with the state, it's not on my time, so it's hard to say when exactly we get it. Hopefully before September gets here, everybody will get their welcome packets.
For Holy City cleanup, we will have the things that we need to clean up for that.
For all of these events, we are already equipped and prepared. Yes. That was a part of our initial boarding. We're grassroots. It doesn't come because we're the city, the merit. I have an idea. It needs to be supported financially.
Financially, always financially.
Most of our support has been coming from the state through a grant, and it's very minimal, but it gets us started, and it doesn't stop the wheels from moving, from turning. So we're just taking that momentum and building with it, and because we'll see where funds are by next year, but we have supplies for all of these events as of now.
So when you come to Holy City, you're doing both sides of the block. There's my side of the block that they came in and trashed back. I found out that alley was really a street. On the other side, we have the same situation. I think you saw that. They come to look at what I was trying to explain.
Yeah.
So on the 28th or
That's the target. We are still proposing to the committee. We are still planning out what that looks like the day of. We have the date set, yes. We have the supplies, yes. Now organizing where we're going to be stationed, whether at the park. We just got declined from Vittle. Hopefully we can get a reconsideration that we can set up there.
Was that park where we had the meeting, you and I met in Old City at the cul-de-sac?
That park and or Vittle lot be at the top of the block so we could branch into alleyways. So it depends on the manpower that we have that day, really. If we have the manpower to do both alleys, because both of those alleys are streets that also could open up to parking that resolve the issue that Holy City have with parking on the street. Ideally, hopefully.
Typically,
It really depends on manpower.
typically wherever we set out, we just spread out from wherever our start out point is, and it's almost self-directed, really. Target the areas that, are very heavily trashed. So, yeah, as long as it's safe and accessible, people are welcome to kind of, spread out there. And if your block is there as block captain, I mean, it's very easy to ask people to clean up at least their direct area, their yard, come out for even if it's just a couple of minutes. One thing I wanted to plug too, which was really nice, when we had at our last meeting for the dumpster, we had folks who were not participating in the cleanup but asked if they could, of course, throw out some of their bulk trash. So we worked it out such that they could if they cleaned up for a half hour. So, I thought that was genius. Shout out to Chris Lamb for coming up with that solution. I put him on the spot and was like, hey, somebody wants to throw this thing out. And it works. It's a very small ask. We will definitely, or I shouldn't always say definitely because it'll depend on who our dumpster vendor is at the time. But I thought that was an excellent trade. So if you can get your folks out, the more people that are there, the more area that we can cover. So I think it's really safe of Michael to not guarantee that we can do the entire thing, but the more people that are there, the more capacity that we have, obviously. So, and the more of you that show up.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And the turnout is never, we plan these events and we don't know what the turnout's going to be till the day of. Rain or shine. We come out there.
We got rain the
we
last
could
two.
assume that we'll have so many folks, but when it comes to what the capacity looks like, that's when we can really determine, okay, we could get X amount of miles, we could get this whole strip, we could get this strip plus this one. We could plan that out on the spot, really. But they do, I mentioned everything that we talked about. It's just those trouble areas that is more complex. It needs to be assessed by the city. It's all by the creek. Yeah, it's so many spaces that needs to be scouted on another higher level that's beyond us.
Well, if we could just get
The path to there would be good.
then that's going to work in progress.
Yes. Development, yeah.
Got a quick question for you. Is it possible we can get some of the students from Widener?
Maybe in the
School
problem
year.
is we're cleaning up right now when school's out.
Oh, okay, yeah. But don't they have summer session?
Yes, the alignment hasn't been set because we've been doing grassroots in Chester, on our streets that
Yeah.
we haven't even gone through big partnerships yet.
Right.
We'll need to talk to the student body, talk to the administrators at Widener. Take some time. I'm sure we can.
It's on our agenda to get with the civic engagement group that's there once school picks fully up. It's not
Yeah.
necessarily feasible right now to try to get that ball rolling. It'll be probably forgotten by the time the summertime's over, but we'd love to get Widener more involved. And the reason we picked Sun Hill for this month was because they just had all the kids move out. So that was Miss Pat's concern, and that's what we were trying to address that, transitions.
Okay.
I was just gonna add that, I did talk to Widener and about when they come back, what the citywide cleanup, so it's on their radar.
Yeah.
As soon as back in session, to be a part of like the citywide.
Thank you.
That's so good. I love that.
They have it on their radar.
Yeah, we definitely will explain that.
Yeah, my question is anything coordinated with the highway department, the city of Chester Highway Department?
Not as, or I guess, I don't know, is there a formal, because at least through us, not as of yet.
Yeah, because I think we need all hands on deck.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
That's the entire city. I do know our current issue is lack of interest on the west side of town.
Yeah.
We have interest all across the city with a whole list of names, and there's still a low interest on the west side of Chester. You on the west side? I'll talk to you more after this. You as well? You as well? Oh, this is good? Okay. I'm just picking out everywhere. Just okay.
Oh, yes, right.
Fine. All right, this is some good coverage. Jeffrey in third.
Report them.
Report them, and they're already swooping them. They started that like a little over 30, 60 days ago.
Do you know, Justin, where does that report go to? Abandoned vehicles? LNI. Yeah.
If you're trying to report abandoned vehicles, it depends on, it might depend a little bit on where the abandoned vehicle is located. If it's just something that's out on the street, you can actually just call the police and they'll pick it up. If it's something that's like on a property, then that would be the LNI department, and you can like basically email publicaffairs@chestercity.com or just call City Hall here, which is 610-447-7700, and we'll take a look. So there's a different process for different abandoned vehicles. We still have to go through a legal process because we can't just be stealing cars, but there's a lot of abandoned vehicles and we are trying to clean them up. So yeah. Yep, you can just call the police and they will, they have an abandoned vehicles officer that will go take a look at it, and if he deems that it's abandoned, he'll get it towed. Yep.
All right, is there any further questions in regards to what the program looks like, expectations, first assignment?
I also, if no one has any questions, does anyone want to share why they'd like to be a block captain? Why they applied? I know, but that's not public info. Can you bring the loose mic? Yeah, we'd just like to hear a little bit from you guys about why you felt this was important to participate in, what you're looking to get done.
The reason why I wanted it to be one was because I'm actually from South Carolina. So when I got here, I'm gonna be really blunt about the situation. When I got here, I had never seen a mostly black city before. So it felt good to see a place that looked the way it looked. But the problem was it didn't look good on the outside. It made it look like we just don't care about what we have or what we live amongst. And when you see so many beautiful people that look like others as well as yourself, and then you look around, and I'm from a place where we're not gonna accept just trash in the street. So to see people just accepting trash in the street, it bothered me. So the way I found this program is because I wanted to start one on my own, and I just happened to see it. I seen like social media read your mind. I was, yeah, because I was already thinking like I want. We do like Adopt a Highway where I'm from. So I was kind of like, how do I do Adopt a Highway type of program? And all of a sudden it pops up on my feed, block captain program. So I'm like, let me check this out. And then, I just came up here and asked about it, and I like it, so I'm still here. And I mean, when I believe that Chester, I keep hearing so much about so long ago how beautiful it once was, and I would love to be a part of history making it beautiful again.
Thank you so much.
Anybody else open to sharing as to why you were really interested in joining a program like this?
No, I'm excited. We got a lot to say. Feel free to pass it amongst yourselves too. I don't need the mic. I don't need it. Yes.
It helps.
Sorry.
No problem. I'm really no stranger. People know me. I'm part of a lot of different organizations. I'm kind of like the go-to person. I'm a member Local 413, and a board member. I'm a member, I run Anson Construction, as well as Delcor. I'm a member of, a lot of organizations. So for years I've been around, and people call me, and I kind of like put them in the right direction. And for the last 3 years, or even on my own block, I've been doing things. We just recently did a block party on, for our block on 11th and Carolyn, for the neighborhood. So the neighbors been telling me, why don't you just do it? So I decided to do it, and you guys responded quick to me. So that's why I'm here. I've been doing it for years. I'm gonna continue to do it. I actually love doing it, so that's why I wanted to be a block captain, because I've been doing it, so now I got the title officially.
Thank you. To Greg's point, he had said there was that you guys had a block party. I have been trying. I've pitched it, but logistically, it's too much for just me, Michael, and Dakeem to take on. But I want a DJ at our cleanup so bad. It just changes the entire vibe. It makes it more fun. It makes it more engaging. Again, at the last one, they had the cornhole and they had the food, and it really felt like it was engaging the community. Now, some people are just going to come by and grab some free food, fine. But if they're providing vibes, that's fine. It'll still encourage people to come back, because even if people are driving by what's going on there? Well, the next time we come around, you'll know what's going on, and we've got that going on. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, and I'm it's 10 to 12, 10 a.m. to 12 noon. So it's early enough where our DJs are free, as long as they weren't out too late the night before. So, we'll talk. Because I was thinking about it when we were out there the last time. I was like, this would be so fun if we just had some good music going, and just really make it feel like it's a celebration of our city and everyone around. So thank you for bringing that up. You're next.
I'll be next. So mine is kind of short and simple. I was born in Chester, and then I traveled all around, and I ended up in Washington State for the past 13 years. And when I came back, I parked on my front street. Well, I never could get a place in front of my home. So a police officer had come for something, and I had mentioned it to him. He said, "Oh, ma'am, this is a public street." And my brother said, "Sis, we own that house. You can park in the back." Okay, I'll be in the back, no issues. When I drove up the back, it looked less than a third world country. It looked really bad back there. And I said, oh, this is not going to work, because I'm all about energy and vibration. And this was a very beautiful city, I heard from my parents. And when I moved from Providence Avenue to Holy City in '69, okay, it looked okay. I don't ever remember the back looking so horrible. So I was overpaying the taxes and talked with Ms. Rothwell. One thing led to the next. And it's about that. It's a beautiful city, holy city. That whole area is gorgeous. The front doesn't look so bad, but the back looks horrible. I said, let's bring up the energy and vibration. And we have young children there too. So it's a whole another generation. It's not my generation or your generation, but it's another generation of sometimes kids that just don't know because they weren't raised that way. And I said, look, bring the vibe back up. So yes, I'm looking for a DJ maybe for Holy City when we do the cleaning.
And I like to mention this. If you're from Chester and you get to step outside of your own neighborhood and go to another neighborhood, you remember those times you had. I remember getting to go to Holy City and getting to see it now. It didn't quite look like that. And 2010 wasn't so long ago, to the point where it's like, dude, it was yesterday. But it didn't quite look like that. Maybe my eyes weren't open to looking at the right thing. And it's something about knowing that you're waking up to good streets with no glass on it. You can run outside when it's thunderstorming. You can just run out in the street when you get no glass in your feet. Those things are just some things that you want to get back to, at least especially when you got your godbabies, your grandkids, your nieces and nephews. You like, no, stay in the house. And then sometimes that's the safest thing to do, but sometimes when you get to want to remember, they deserve to have the same opportunity to go outside, wind up and down, ride that bike, scooter, get a couple bumps and bruises. And sometimes some people can't get the opportunity because sometimes the streets just got too much glass.
We've had excellent engagement with the Jawala Scouts, if you guys are familiar. It's like the Muslim-based Boy Scout group is the best way to describe them. They have come out to all of our cleanups so far. And it is so wonderful, from like the littlest kids who are swimming in their safety vests all the way to the kids who are asking for a different color glove because it just doesn't match with their outfit. So we, for all the ages, getting those kids involved too can kind of, especially from such a young age, like Kingston will tell you straight up, his favorite Christmas toy the last 2 years has been a trash grabber, because he loves picking up, and he used to call it glitter, but now he's almost 6 and he says litter properly. But it really starts that small, where like we get the kids involved, and it really can shape the culture. So as quickly as you guys are saying that it went the opposite way, with enough engagement, we can swing that pendulum back in the other direction. So, and when we start with the kids, I mean, that's long term. They're gonna be here much longer than we will, hopefully, and kind of keep that momentum going throughout into their adulthood, and hopefully they'll pass that along as well. Did you have something?
Yeah, I am curious as to the graffiti. It is, man, it really sickens me when you pass buildings and they tag the building. We need to build an anti-graffiti network among the captains here. So if we can get supplies, we can start painting over a lot of that stuff. Because, you know, it looks really horrible. Right down the street.
I was just going to say, when I came out the parking lot today,
Yeah.
I was like, there's graffiti right across
Right.
the street.
Yeah, yes. I
That
mean,
doesn't happen anywhere else.
you know, that shows you a lack of really self-respect.
Yeah, I don't know if, like, just from a funding standpoint, I don't know if that'll be something we can tackle this summer, but it's definitely something that as the year goes by and we start really, like, once we buy enough supplies, there's only so much supplies that we need, and then we can start kind of taking on some of these smaller projects where, or I say smaller, but some of these things that require additional supplies that we may not have to use every block captain you know, event, but so stuff like paint. We've had a couple people ask about putting up murals, you know, in their neighborhoods. And while we, again, at this point, don't have the capacity to fully launch a mural program, we were able to connect him at least with a couple of local artists that are known for doing murals and kind of get the ball rolling on that sort of thing too. So again, even if we can't direct it and organize it and oversee it all together, we're really here to kind of, and you guys as block captains and as a network are really here to be able to share those resources, make those connections. And I mean, Chester's big in heart, but it's small. It is small, and everybody knows everybody. I bet you I could ask you for a plumber right now, and at least 3 of y'all know somebody, or it's your cousin, or it's your neighbor, or it's your whatever, if I need a handyman or a mechanic or whatever. So, well,
Yes, you do. You just got to call your family.
I was gonna.
You got to call your family.
See, he knows somebody in your family that's a plumber.
Yeah, that's why I said it. Because this is the thing. Everybody that's assigned up genuinely have an interest in doing some aspect of this program because of the resources you already have, or the wits about you because you already do what we already trying to do. It's just needing organizing, technical support, getting you to know who she is and you to know who he is. And as we know each other, we got our own plethora. We have our own directory, right? And if I could share mine with yours and I could get you help out with one of your issues, that'd be fine with me.
It takes a village.
It takes a village, and that's what this is.
And this is our village,
This is our
really.
village coming together and say, we're not waiting just for funding from the city to do it. We can find a way to mobilize and do it ourselves because somebody else been doing it before us. And this is all about, and many of you already do grant writing, done grant writing, or have connections to people that done this 5, 10, 15, 20 years ago.
So, hold that for a second. So you're talking about grant writing, and that's a very good thing. So what can you do? You said grant writing. What vision do you have someone would be writing a grant for? Would it be for the whole block captains, or just like say for the block, I don't know, each block?
I could take this one. So really the way, like, grants aren't typically that general where you can just say, I need a lump sum of money and this is what we're going to do. They're usually much more structured than that, where like an organization, whoever the funder is, will put out, hey, we're offering grants for X, Y, Z. So really it does require some level of research proactively for things that would align with us. So Michael had mentioned like the supplies that we have for our cleanups. It's because we are a Keep Pennsylvania Beautiful affiliate, and they offer quarterly grants for cleanup supplies. So we go through, you know, every quarter. So far we've done one. We're about to do our second, to get our second little grant for them. And that's very small in the grand scheme of things. It's only $500 a quarter. So that goes, I mean, we spent the entire $500 just on the supplies that we had. So, and just for the record, and because this is being recorded, all of the receipts are kept and everything is budgeted accurately and effectively and and it is accounted for. So we are trying our best to not do reimbursements, just to be fully transparent, only because if you're here, you're probably familiar with our city's financial state. So we are trying our best to put the orders through and kind of run them directly through the block captain program. And the worst thing that could happen is that you go out and you buy supplies and we don't have money to reimburse you for it. So if you have ideas or like specific supplies that you think we need that we don't have, send them to us and then we can see if it's feasible to put into our next supply order. That would be the best way to do it. Did I nail that? Yeah. Okay, cool. I'll tell you, I primarily oversee the grants process that we have with the committee, and I would be over the moon if anyone sent me resources or wanted to assist in that process in any way, shape, or form. So I will definitely have you on our radar for additional things, and that goes to anyone who's listening or anyone who's here or any block captain or not. If you come across some sort of funding source where they're doing something around honestly, especially when they're looking to do things in like Black communities, like this city completely meets that requirement. That's a really good one. I mean, we're running, I don't want to go on too long, but there are some DEI initiatives that are being like pulled back, so maybe not too soon. But if you see anything that's around the city also has like a 30% poverty rate, so we meet a lot of low income grant requirements as well. I'm trying to think. And then anything just around beautification efforts or something like that. Like those fit right up our alley. And if you're not sure, just send it to us, because the worst that could happen is it's not a great fit, or we don't have, we don't meet all of the requirements, but to know that that exists. And then maybe even, there are even some times where we'll miss a grant. We came across a grant like 3 days before it was due for submission, and we didn't have enough time to get all of the like paperwork, because that's the trouble with grants, in order to apply. But now it's on our radar for next year, and we can make sure that we have all of those things. So it never hurts to send us information, or for us to talk about it as a group, if there's any funding especially. Or if you just have like a connection with corporate donors or somebody who wants to put their name in the community, like let us know.
My thoughts right now comes to, I think it's either Philadelphia More Beautiful Committee or Philadelphia Green, one of the two. They may be a resource that, by you being the head of the program, that you could tap into that would be beneficial for us citywide.
I looked into it. They're
Yeah.
only Philadelphia specific. They only work within the Philadelphia
Well,
for their it's their Greenlands project. Yeah.
yeah, well, they do have some projects that are outside the city limit. So that could be potentially a resource for us. So that's just my thoughts.
some of these things too, like a lot of these like meetings, there's meetings for everything, and there's an organization for everything. So if anyone belongs to an organization or wants to, thinks we should get engaged in some sort of resource network, you guys are welcome to just run it by us and say, hey, can I represent the block captain program at this whatever thing? And like, I can't imagine we would say no. Yeah, feel free to run those things by us so that if you want to, represent us in a more official capacity somewhere and gain those resources and whatnot, we will. We also just got confirmation with Keep PA Beautiful. They run like a sustainability conference every year. This year it's in Penn State and at least Michael and, yeah, so all the way out in State College. So. Not yet, but I think I don't know what the legality looks like on that, but we can definitely look into it to get like more specific details. Yeah, what was the process when we received that one cash donation? Was it just deposited to us or?
Yeah, I mean, the Block Captain program has an account like on the city, so if people want to make donations, we can take the donation, put it in the account of the city, and then, we are kind of running the expenses through our finance department.
Yeah.
Just if you're going to use our logo, let us know, and that way we can just have in writing for like CYA purposes on both ends. So we can definitely collaborate on that, and I will. Yeah. So, I mean, if you look at our last cleanup flyers too, we had TNT Disposal who did our dumpsters. Like we had their logo on our flyers as well. So yes, well, yes, and it was almost like in thank you, like as like an advertisement of sorts. They sponsored that, and we want to make sure that they're recognized for it, and the community knows that like this is who gave us the ability to remove this stuff. Yeah, Yeah, just send us something so that we have it in writing and we kind of have a good gauge on what to do. I will put out maybe we'll have to add it to our disclaimer because we just say that we're not city council people, but I do want to make it very clear, regardless of political party, we are not engaged with any political party in any way, shape, or form. We do not have politicians really speaking at our events. At our last cleanup, Rep. Carol Kazim came, but like her name wasn't on any flyers, and it wasn't like in collaboration with their office. I'm not saying necessarily that we would never collaborate with a sitting person, but we are absolutely staying away from like at least the big two-party system and all of those big things. We can talk everything. Everybody's existence is political, if we're going to be honest. And there are definitely political issues here in Chester, but that is definitely not. So just to make that kind of public disclaimer. But yeah, so if we're going to do a fundraiser of some sort, or you're interested in doing a fundraiser of some sort, throw us like a quick little elevator pitch. You can send it to our email is probably the best way. If we need to set up some sort of like organizing meeting outside of this, we definitely can. But I appreciate the idea and the forethought for sure. Anybody else want to share? Yeah.
I'm from Chester, Pennsylvania. I was born and reared here. I left here at 17, traveled 3/4 of the way around the world, came back, left again. I've lived in a lot of places. I retired as a city employee. This guy here, I know he's from here, man with man. The reason why I'm saying this is because I seen this city when it was mighty and great. I'm talking about the 50s, the 60s, the 70s. The riots came in the 60s with Stanley Branch, and from that point on, things started to slide. We used to come down this street, Avenue of the States and Market Street, Friday nights. You couldn't get down this street. You couldn't get down the street. Stores open late. I mean, it was festive. Okay? And I say that for one reason, because when you've seen other things, when you've seen other lands, when you lived in other worlds, so to speak, and then you come back to something that was really mighty and great. I say that for a reason. Because I went to the military, when I came back, so much was gone. Downtown was nothing anymore. The malls were built. That took downtown away. That's what happened. Okay? I know you know, right? You know what I mean? And we know. We saw it. We lived it. 32 and I drove these streets in a city truck, Chester Water Authority. I know every hen house, outhouse, etc. of these streets. And you're right, there are no alleyways here. They're all streets. Everything has a name. But the only way it gets better, we make it better. We do it. And when you have something to reflect on, you see, I'm not putting anybody down because you just happen to be younger than me. Not at all, okay? So don't misunderstand what I'm saying here. But when you can reflect back and know, then you can make some really good changes here. I'm really pleased to see the people that are out. I'm really pleased to see the youth, because you're the energy, as you say, sister. You're the energy. I don't run as fast and jump as high as I used to. So we need your energy. That's all. I'm here. That's why I'm here. That's my reason for being here, to make that change.
Thank you. That was so lovely.
And I'm not sure if all hearts and minds are all at peace, but I would love to end on that note, because I think we could keep going for hours, I'm sure. we could all share our stories from Chester and how important it is to be on this journey, but the point is being on it, going through it. So I hope that we all keep our hopes high and our interests. Let your wheels start turning. Allow them to go crazy. And if you come past something, share it with someone, because they probably have the same interest ideas you have. But I do look forward to seeing you at the next upcoming meetings. I do look forward to seeing you at cleanup events. I do look forward to getting phone calls. Even if I don't return it immediately, I will return it. Okay?
So, are you done? Sorry. So before we break, a reminder, our cleanup is on Saturday, this Saturday. Our next meeting is the 17th. Our cleanup after that is the 26th. These meetings are always on the third Thursday. If that's helpful for you to remember, that way you don't have to always keep track of it. It's always the third Thursday. If you use Outlook or Gmail or even Apple calendars, you can just set a reminder that to remind you on the third Thursday of the month, and they will tell you every single time, 6 p.m. Location may change, but we will let you guys know, of course, if that is the case. Before everyone leaves, if you would like, I'm asking, I'm requesting that you join us up front for a photo of all of the block captains together. If you do not wish to be in that program, you are free to go. There are some cookies and some water bottles out front if you would like them. The water bottles, forewarning, they are not cold. It is very hot outside right now. But you can take them home and throw them in your freezer. So on that note, thank you, thank you, thank you.
And just on one last note, I remember growing up in Chester. One last note. I remember growing up in Chester. And there used to be a sign in Chester And the sign said, "What Chester makes Chester." And that ties into the whole beautiful, because that's what my parents told me, what Chester makes Chester. So you're from Chester, make it beautiful. We're going to make it beautiful again. Oh, I don't know where it's going. Okay, let's go up here and get our look.
Hello. Boom. Say cheese. The mayor up front. Boom. Thank you. Thank you for joining us. Have a good day.